Hey guys, this is Mickett. Just going to do a quick hit tips and tricks on Town Hall Hog Rider scouting. I'm about to start a war here, and I don't have any replays because they wiped them out as part of the maintenance update. But I thought I'd go through and look at something that people had requested on how to scout out and attack Town Hall 8s with hogs. Obviously a max being for another Town Hall 8 to be able to hit with level 4 hogs. But just take a quick look at this. I have not scouted through a lot of these. I'm actually going to start, I'll just start right up at the top there. Take a look. Now one of the things to realize is that an important thing to look at is the composition of your troops is very important. You're going to need different parts of that. You're going to, of course, need the main thing, which would be your hogs. But you also have to have something to be able to kill the CC troops with, some sort of CC kill squad. And then you also have to have some cleanup troops as well. Now hogs do a very good job of cleaning things up, although it's a good idea to have a few extra just to be able to make their life a little easier and make sure that they kind of split evenly and go back into that town hall. Let's just take a quick look at things. I'm going to try and keep this down to a couple minutes. This one actually is a pretty good hog base. It has pretty well maxed out for town hall defenses. However, you see how everything is clumped together in its center there? That means that once you get into the center, you're just going to go hog wild, no pun intended. You're going to enjoy being able to go between there isn't really even any spaces to be able to put any spring traps. These are all just packed up very tightly in here. In fact, because these ones are packed right next to them, which defends really well against dragons, but the hogs just run right through those, so it's really not that big of a deal for hogs. Where the main problem for hogs is going to be is on the outside. Now this is a pretty standard base, and I'm just going to show you something really quickly. There's going to be 3 giant bombs that you're going to be afraid of with the hogs at Town Hall 8. There's 3 giant bombs. They could have double giant bombs in here, and they could just have singles. They also have 3 Teslas that they're working with. One of the things to notice right off the bat is the absence of anything over here, which makes it a possibly very good entry point. You're going to probably have some springs in there that will spring up to 3 hogs apiece. You got to be aware of that. But of course, if you bring hogs in here as a wall instead of on one point, they'll even kind of perhaps bypass some of those. But different possibilities. Let me just go back to the concept of the giant bomb. You've got to look at a base and say, are there giant bombs that will kill my hogs? Because if there's 2 giant bombs next to each other and your hogs go across them simultaneously without having a few seconds to heal before they hit the next one, they will all die. It doesn't matter if they're it doesn't matter if they're level 4 hogs, level 5 hogs, doesn't matter, they will all die. So if you take a look at this, and I'll just kind of zoom in a little bit, if you look at possibilities here, look at the shape of this one here, okay? And then go over here, take a look at the shape of this one here. That is a very good chance of a double bomb or a Tesla right there hiding double giant bombs if they're real smart. And you gotta kind of assume that they are until somebody attacks. You gotta assume that they know what they're talking about. But there's different ways to be able to handle those. Somebody may attack this right off the bat. It's a good possibility. It's the highest ranked Town Hall 8. I would assume that probably what we have going on over here is you probably have a giant bomb with a Tesla. And up here you probably have or vice versa. You could have the giant bomb there and then Tesla there, but probably it's a Tesla there, giant bomb there. Now because they have this double space here, you'd think that they probably went through the thought process of trying to stick double bombs, so probably their double giant bombs is up there, which means if you sent in a couple of hogs there, you could be able to sniff those out, they would all die, and then you just are good. Once you get rid of that double giant bomb threat, you're good with hogs, as long as you, in a compact base anyways, like this. Now you can see also, you're always looking to see if there's anything in the corners, so forth. So you get your CC kill troops, and you've got to draw this out. It's an easy draw. Come in there with a couple of giants. You could even bring a couple of hogs. You don't need to in this case. I'd just bring probably 1 giant, maybe even, maybe 2. But I would probably just bring a giant, and if a dragon pops out of there, I saved myself a hog or something like that. But if a giant goes in there and it doesn't quite pull everything, I'd stick a hog there, and maybe even 2 if I need to. But generally that's the idea. Kill your CC troops. Where's a good place to kill them? Different possibilities. On this one, it looks like he has pretty good coverage all around. If you look at down here, he has an exposed area down there, which is where you'd want to probably do it. Why does he have an exposed area? Because you say, well, he has that covered with that. Well, yeah, but not if you stick a minion down there, not if you stick an air troop, which this guy can't get. It's exposed, stick the minion down there, the CC troops will come on over here, bring them in the corner, and kill them. Now, an important thing when you do your, I know this is more about scouting, but just as an aside, when you then, after you kill your CC troops, a good idea, you don't have to do it this way, a good idea is to bring your hogs in very quickly to be able to go in and take and to be able to keep all those troops from dying, because you have a lot of DPS that you don't want to die. If you bring in the hogs quickly, it takes out all these guys, and then you don't have to worry about them. Probably on this one, because I have that possibility, I might stick a barb of all things down right there, and if the Tesla's there, he'll pop. If not, I might stick one. If it doesn't pop there, I might stick one hog about here and see what happens there, just to try and get that. What you don't want to do is you don't want to have it. You don't want it to get tripped at the same time. So if that happened that way, I might try and opt to try and kill the CC troops out this way, and then bring in hogs in 2 streams, one on this, so they will kill them simultaneously and then go opposite directions. Or you could send in like 3 or 4, knock that out, and then bring in all your hogs from there, something like that. However you choose to do it. Let's scout another one really quickly. Now this is not a nice hog base. Why? Because you've got double giant bomb spaces there. You're not going to be there, but it's possible, I guess, in theory. A nice double giant bomb space there, and a bunch of spring traps. This is not a very good one to try and do. This is probably some sort of combination you could be able to do hogs, because once you get the hogs in the middle, you're pretty good. But these are a little too close to try and hit them with a holo, to try and come in there with loons, and level 5 loons at Town Hall 8, you got to keep them away from these ADs. They go down so quickly. So I wouldn't do that. You could do different ways. You could try and bring in a few hogs this way, and they'll spread this way, a few hogs this way, and they'll eventually kind of redirect to the middle. Probably Teslas in the corners there is probably what they are. So it's going to be difficult to do. So I wouldn't pick this one right off the bat. I'd first wait to see what comes about. All right, this one is so easy to go wipe. I just leave that for somebody else. You get your guys in there and just they're just gonna go all around the outside. So I just leave that one alone. But you could hog it if you want. It's gonna have a lot of spring traps. This one's not too bad one. This looks like, oh, you're like, there's a giant bomb there, or possibly Teslas. Well, if they're Teslas, you're in hog heaven. But if it's giant bombs, there's just going to be a single there and just a single there, and you can heal through them. And that's something I should also talk about real briefly. If you're going to heal through something, yeah, okay, let's assume for a second, forget about the top part of the base up here for now, but let's assume for a second that you've gone and done everything you need to, and you bring in your hogs from here. First thing I'm going to do is, you brought off your hogs in here, they're going to come up here, and I'm going to tell you, if he's smart, he puts spring traps in there, and they're going to spring as they go up there, and then giant bombs here. Now what you can do is you can drop a heal spell right in that area just as they're coming up towards it, and then as they trip the giant bombs, they're already pre-healed. A mistake that a lot of people made, I've seen this happen lately, is they lose a ton of hogs and they don't know how they lost them. Take a quick look at this. Let's say you had some hogs coming in here, and then let's say they all go this way. All right, for some reason, maybe some go the other way, whatever. But some are going this way, and they hit a giant bomb, and it explodes. And then right at that time, somebody decides to drop their heal spell. Well, guess what's going to happen? While their heal spell is dropping, this guy and this guy are both hitting all of the hogs with a pretty maxed out wizard tower. They're going to take off that little bit of DPS they have, and you can sometimes lose all your hogs, or quite a significant portion of them. Now, but if you had put the heal down ahead of time, that wouldn't have happened. So, or I mean, not ahead of time, you could pre-heal it, or you could, but getting the heal in there soon enough. A lot of times the mistake that people make is they try and wait to see if the giant bomb pops and then put down the heal spell, and then they lose a lot of guys that way. Or they make the mistake of trying to put down the heal spell because they're afraid of losing guys too soon. They place it too soon, put the heal spell there, and then their guys wander into the giant bombs there, but they're out of the healing. Now you're stuck. You got to drop your heal spell there, and then as you're your guys wander through the base, they have no more heal spells to deal with, and you are in trouble, because you can see how if they went this way, you can't make that entire thing with level 4 hogs, or going that way, you can't make it without a heal spell in there. But if you had waited and put one heal spell across there, you might lose 1 or 2 hogs there, but then they'll split up. So that's just another example. Let me take a look at 1 or 2 more. I don't want to make this too long here. Okay, this is one of those ones that's not a fun one until you've seen somebody go through it. Once they've tripped the double giant bombs, if there is one in there, then it wouldn't be that hard to hog, because yeah, there's going to be some spring traps, but that's one that probably wouldn't be a first hit that you'd want to go on. This is an easy go wipe. I don't even think I'd mess with it with a hog. That's pretty easy, but if you wanted to, it's probably not going to be too bad, but you'd want to split your hogs. Don't put them all in one place. You want to have at least, let's go with a dozen hogs, if they're level 4s in one place. And if you split your hogs, why would you do that? If you put your hogs, some of your hogs here and maybe some of them down here, then in theory, if somebody had a double giant bomb, well, it's just not going to happen there, but over here it could. And they go over here and they go across a double giant bomb, which are kitty corner or something like that, and it kills all those hogs. That's out of the way, but at least you got the other half or 2/3 of your hogs coming in from another direction. One thing that I've seen some people do, and some people are good at it, I'm no good at it, but a lot of times you'll see people put down a lot of their hogs, and then as their hogs are moving, then they'll drop some hogs that are in their CC. That's one way to do it, I find, especially because the reason why they have the hogs in the CC is those are the highest DPS. Those are the level 5 hogs they've borrowed or they've gotten from one of the higher levels, Town Hall 8, or I see Town Hall 9s or 10s. I like to have those in the mix very early on. And I know they can spring and so forth, but they just move through the base so much more quickly. I don't like to wait on those unless there's a specific strategic reason to do so. Such as if you're really afraid of double giant bombs, there might be a reason to hold off on some of those. All right, but this isn't the best hog base to go. This is an easy one. It's not quite a checkerboard pattern, but everything is just centrally located. Okay, that's going to be a Tesla. Why? Because who would put a giant bomb there? It doesn't make any sense. Probably what they do is they have a giant bomb and a Tesla, or a Tesla and a giant bomb out there. I'm just guessing, but they don't have any places for anything in the core, so if you can just kind of sniff them out, which is easy to do just by dropping a barb or even a hog to go in there, you sniff those out, and once you've sniffed them out, that's it. You just bring in your hogs. Now, how many hogs you bring in? Start with the number 32 in your head. Now, you can go up or down depending on what you've got there. You can go down to 30 if you've got a bunch of level 5s in your CC. Personally, when I was Town Hall 8, my favorite thing was to bring witches in my CC, because then I could do the CC kill, and then the witches, if I did it right with the witches, just keep going. It's nice and easy. So then you end up bringing fewer hogs, I should say, not a few less, but fewer hogs. But you just go with what you got there. Make sure you don't short yourself. On the let's say your BK is out or something, don't short yourself such that you can't kill the CC. The other thing to look at is something like this. I would probably bring one hog less and make sure that I've got an archer and a minion or minion for each of these corners, because otherwise at the end it's a real shame when you get 99% and you got like 6 or 7 extra hogs and you're like, you know what, I probably could have had one less hog and I would have gotten the 3-star. So things to think about. Let's try and find if we can find one more base that would make it easier. I wouldn't probably mess with that one. I wouldn't mess with this one. This has too many good. This is more of an anti-hog base than anything else. This would be, if you did it right, you could probably come in there with a drag loon or something like that, because all these guys are right there. They're easy to get to. Any other easy hog bases? This one's not too bad. It's a ring around there. You're going to have some easy ones that you can pick off with loons, maybe even. You can get some of those guys on the outside there with loons. Because they're relatively unprotected, but you don't even really need to. This guy copied his brother's base or whatever he had above there. I guess it's the same base. I know it's a common base, but well, here's a wacky base. Oh my goodness, that's strange. Sometimes wacky bases are good. This one's not. This one's not too bad to hit. You can just look at it. Where could he put double giant bombs. Okay, you could put them here, but then those are so easy to avoid that it doesn't make any sense unless he's really, really smart and he somehow puts a Tesla up there. I'm not even sure if he can do that and get double giant bombs in there. Probably has them on the outside somewhere here in the Teslas, who knows, but you can just sniff those out, sniff them out. What do I mean sniff it out? Stick in a hog or stick in a barb or something like that and get rid of them. This one, the CC, would be easy to draw. You can probably, in this case, I would do I'd probably bring in 3 hogs from this side, because you can't quite get it with a giant. You could sneak it in that way and he's going to spring there. You'd have to bring in 2 giants, but I'd probably bring in like 3 hogs, maybe not there because the barb king is going to take them, but that should get the draw. Whatever, there's different ways to do that. Make sure you don't short yourself though. If you don't have your BK, or you don't have something that you can just kind of bring as a backup to kill any troops, if you don't kill the CC troops, you're toast. So it almost isn't even worth attacking. Although you can get 1 star or something like that. These are the ones you don't want to look at with hogs. Those are kind of yucky. This one's actually not as bad as it looks. It's got this weird space up here. I would choose actually not to this might be a good example of where you might send in some hogs, and they're going to probably, if I brought in the hogs from this way, they're going to naturally path right around defense and go like that. They're not even going to get into that spot. But this might be a place also where you try and bring in some sort of golem or something to trip those. You might have a Tesla there and then giant bombs next to it. I don't know. But this wouldn't be too hard to hit. You got this place is all, easy to hog right there. So sniff some of those out, stick in a hog there, he'll trip something in there, or bring your Tesla, as long as you know there isn't a double giant bomb. Anyways, a few ideas. As I said, you're going to lose if you know there's places there's going to be spring traps and you know you're going to lose some. You just, as long as you don't spring them too early, it's not a big deal. Was there anything else I wanted to put in there? Oh, spell placement. We talked a little bit about it, but just make sure that I tend to err on the side of placing them a little early, but make sure you cover those spots where the giant bombs are. And obviously, if they're dying quickly, you got to go with it. The last part about it is what I said before in the CC kill. This one would be an easy CC kill in a bunch of places because he gives you the gift of those corners there. But probably I would say, okay, let's do this CC kill down in this area because I can draw them out with a giant or there, or what. It's easy. I'd probably put it there just in case he puts his giant bomb. The giant will trip it, put it there, bring some guys down there, do your kill, and then bring in your hogs right away in a nice big wall, and or like a 2 or 3 finger drop. Bring those in. Those puppies will go all the way around there, and you should be good. So a few ideas. I'll try and put another one on this sometime with some actual hog attacks. As I said, because they wiped out, I don't have that much, and I was trying to keep this a little shorter. I don't think I succeeded, but hopefully this is helpful. Make sure you like and subscribe, and keep clashing.